everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, please subscribe, and if you are not new and you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Alright. Alright, so I have been wanting to make this video forever, but I always just put it off, and I'm always like, oh, I'll do it later. But I finally decided that I'm finally going to do this video. No more excuses. So today I'm going to be talking about my tattoos. But basically I'm just going to be going through all my tattoos, telling you the meaning behind every single one of them, because I always get questions about my tattoos while I'm live streaming and on my YouTube videos. So here we go. I'm going to finally tell you guys the scoop behind all my tattoos. For today's video, I'm just going to be doing my arms because I have a lot of tattoos on my arms, but I also have tattoos on my legs and feet, but I'm going to save the tattoos that are on my legs and feet for probably a part 2 video. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my newest one, just because I feel like it. So this is my very latest tattoo. Right there. I absolutely love the placement. It's a light bulb with the symbol to my favorite band in it. My favorite band in the entire world is Breaking Benjamin. I am completely obsessed with them, totally in love. So I got the light bulb to represent the very first concert that I went to. The lead singer what he did was he had all of the lights in the stadium go dark, and then he had everyone pull out their phone and turn on the flashlight, turn on their phone's flashlight, and then he made sort of this speech about how everybody's light makes a difference, because if even one person's light in that stadium went out, the whole light of the stadium would be darker. And that's like the world and your life force, and how if your life force was to go out, the world would be a darker place. And I cried during the speech. It was just so touching and amazing, and so I decided to get the light bulb to kind of represent my importance in the world and how everyone in the world is important. And then while we were there, we also we added some watercoloring to my microphone. It's like super awkward to show you guys, but it's a microphone. And we added the watercolor behind it because I just am not really a fan of black and gray tattoos, and originally it was a black and gray tattoo, so I wanted to add some color to it, and we already watercolored the light bulb, so why not watercolor the mic as well? And it's still healing, but I love it. So I got the microphone a while ago because you guys know I'm a musician. If you guys haven't heard any of my original music, be sure to check me out on iTunes and Spotify. The links are in the description. Also, I have music videos for my songs on my channel, so do a little bit of research and go listen to my music. So I got the microphone because I have always sort of been insecure with my singing voice. I always wish that I had a better singing voice and everything. But I got the microphone just to represent that this is the voice that I have, and I'm always growing. I'm always doing voice classes and stuff to grow my voice. So it's just to represent the fact that I am a singer, and to just try to ignore my insecurities about it and be happy and always produce something that I'm proud of. So I got the microphone. And then the other latest tattoo that I got was this right here on my forearm. It's a little bit hard to see again, but it's a cat, or it's a fish eating a cat playing a ukulele. I got this one because, first of all, I love cats. I'm a total cat lady. So I'm obsessed with cats. This is my cat, and actually my tattoo kind of looks like my cat. I wanted to get the cat in the tattoo orange because my cat's orange. This is Cheerio, and I love him to death. He looks like he hates me right now, but normally he loves me. And I love cats, and I just thought it was super cute. And obviously, I originally just wanted a ukulele tattoo, but then my husband drew this up for me, and I thought it was so cool because it incorporates my love for cats and the ukulele, so I was like, yeah. And then on my wrist right here is just some wording. It says, "Thank God for the Music," a song called KDV by the band Mizio. And it's a great song that talks about, the power of music and everything, so I just really wanted to get a tattoo to represent that. And then finishing up this arm, this is my last tattoo on this arm. It's a skull with roses, and it says "Sing Me to Sleep," which is from the Smiths song Asleep. What I wanted to do with this arm is do an entire music sleeve, so that's what I've been doing. I have lyrics, ukulele, microphone, band symbol, more lyrics. So I'm basically just gonna fill this entire arm up with different musical ideas, just things about music that inspire me. So once I get my sleeves finished and stuff, I'll do an updated video talking about my newer tattoos and everything. And now, oh, and then I also have a little X and an O tattooed on my pinky finger. It's really small, but I got it because it's a matching tattoo with my two best friends. So they also have XOs on their fingers, and obviously really meaningful. Now moving on to this arm. So this tattoo right here, the air balloon with the suitcase, is actually the first tattoo that I ever got on my arms. And before that, I had only gotten foot tattoos and leg tattoos. And when I got this, it like did not hurt pretty much at all because I had already gotten so many tattoos on my legs, and leg tattoos are more painful than arm tattoos. So I got this tattoo and I was like, I'm gonna get a lot more arm tattoos because this was really easy. But this is just to represent my love of travel. I travel a lot. I want to travel even more, so obviously traveling wanderlust. Then this next one is another tattoo from my best friend. It's a little tiny flower, and if you look really close, you can see a tiny little H there, which is for my best friend's name, Hannah. She got, so this is supposed to be a daisy, which is her favorite flower, and she got my favorite flower, which is a sunflower with a little A on it. You know, little best friend tattoos for us. And then this tattoo right here, an autism awareness tattoo. Before I started doing music full-time, I was an ABA therapist for kids with autism, and I just was always really inspired by the job. I loved it, and it was a really big part of my life, so I wanted to get an autism awareness tattoo to kind of represent that part of my life. Then right here, I have the words "Come As You Are," which is from the Nirvana song. It's one of my favorite Nirvana songs. Nirvana is one of my favorite bands. And I actually got this before I was planning on doing my whole music sleeve on this side. So that's why I have one music tattoo over here and then the rest over here. But, you know, I still love the placement of that one, and it's still really cool because I love Nirvana. So I think I'm still going to get a Nirvana tattoo over here. I'm probably going to get their symbol over here eventually. But I have their lyrics over here, and "Come As You Are" is an amazing song, and it's like one of my favorite Nirvana songs, so I just really wanted it. And then I guess we'll move this way. So this tattoo is probably like my most meaningful tattoo, and it's sort of hard for me to talk about really, but if you look closely, it's always hard to like show. But it's two hands holding each other inside of a heart, and then it like wraps around. Two black bands wrap around my wrist. And so basically I had always loved black armband tattoos. Like, I love the way they look. Black armbands can represent a few different things, but one of the things that they represent is going through like a difficult time in your life, like either the loss of somebody or just like sort of a dark period in your life. So I got two armbands going around to represent the two times that I have tried to commit suicide. I struggle with depression and a few other things, and so I have attempted, I've made attempts on my own life twice, and so I got the two black armbands to represent those two attempts, and then the hands holding each other represents like holding on and never letting go of life because life is precious. So that's definitely one of my most meaningful tattoos, and it's really hard to talk about casually, but it's one of the ones that I get asked about a lot, so I'm sharing it with you guys, and it's just really meaningful, and I love the hands. They look amazing, but also I just love that they're holding each other because it reminds me to always hold on and never give up, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite tattoos. I love it. Anyway, let's move on to some lighter topics. So these two swords crossed. I had sort of a difficult childhood, and I got the two swords crossing to represent one really happy memory from my childhood that I have, which is playing swords, like sword fighting with my brothers in the backyard. So my brothers were always like really into video games and like the whole fantasy world type stuff, and I was the youngest of four boys, so I was definitely a tomboy when I was younger. And so what me and my brothers would do is, my dad was in construction, so he would have these big piles of like leftover wood from job sites that he had worked, and we would go and we would get swords and we would like literally like shave them with knives and use like saws to cut the wood into swords, and then we would fight each other with them, and we'd always like make up games, and Sword fighting was just like super fun when I was young. I really loved it. And it's just a really good happy memory from my childhood, and so I wanted to represent that because I don't have a ton of happy memories from my childhood, but that's one of them. Then moving straight up from that, this is another one that I get questioned on a lot. So let me get a really good shot of this one. So this is a monster with green eyes. It's like a little monster doll type thing. She's holding a flower. She has a green glow around her. This is one of the ones that I get complimented on the most, but also kind of questioned on the most because they're like, what's up with that weird monster thing? The meaning behind this one is really simple. It's envy. If you guys have ever heard the expression, envy is a green-eyed monster, that's what this is. She has little green eyes, a green glow around her because she's supposed to represent envy. Envy has always been one of the biggest things that I struggle with. I don't really envy people. What the fuck is up with my shirt? Why is it all... I don't really envy people so much in their like regular lives, but I've always envied like other musicians' talent. Like I said, I've always been sort of insecure about my voice and stuff. So whenever I hear a musician who has a really beautiful voice, I'm always kind of envious and I'm like, why can't that be me? Or anytime I see a musician who's doing really well in their career, I get kind of like jealous and I'm like, why can't I be doing those things, you know? And so I got this tattoo to remind myself to stop being an envious bitch and just be happy for other people's success, and my own success will come, and just be happy for the blessings that I have in my life without getting all upset that I don't have what everyone else has. So this is to remind me not to be such a little bitch all the time. Then this next tattoo is a praying skeleton. This is also one of my favorite pieces, which basically just means to not worry about things and not stress about things and get all like anxious, but to just pray about everything and give it to God and let it go. I just do. I'm not, like I said, I'm not super religious, but I do believe that prayer works. Then we'll move straight up from there. So this is an eyeball. This one's like especially hard to see because it's in like a weird spot. But it's an eyeball that says sweet dreams, and this one kind of has sort of a double meaning. So I got the eyeball saying sweet dreams because when I was young, my mom always used to say, "Good night, sweet dreams, I love you," to me. Like every single night, kind of became our thing. But I also got the eye open instead of closed, even though it's supposed to represent sleeping, because I have like terrible insomnia. I can never sleep, and so the eye's open. And then we come over here. So this tattoo is actually not finished because it's actually a cover-up of an old tattoo. So these words here I plan on getting covered up eventually too. I actually really like the words and I plan on getting them redone somewhere else. The problem is I just got them way too small when I first got them, so now they're kind of hard to read and they kind of blend together because they're too small. So I plan on getting the same words again, but bigger. I think I'm going to make it a chest piece actually, which is going to come eventually. So like I said, I'll do an updated tattoo video once I get like more ink going on. But yeah, so this one is a cover-up. But it's just a heart in a rib cage, and it says, "There is no beauty without some strangeness." I love those words. It's from an essay by the philosopher Francis Bacon. And basically in the essay, he's just describing what he defines beauty as. And I love that quote, "There is no beauty without some strangeness," because if you look at me, I'm like tattooed, I have stretched ears, I have colored hair, like I'm very sort of alternative, and I've always been alternative. Like when I was in high school, I was like emo, and you know, I've always had colored hair. Like I started coloring my hair in junior high, and I've always had it since then. And I've always been sort of outcasted from certain groups of people because of my style, and so I've always been sort of shy about it, or at least I used to be. I used to always be embarrassed when people would point out my hair color, and I'd always try to cover my tattoos and sort of hide my style. Honestly, that quote really helped me sort of embrace like my style and who I am. But the problem is just that it's written too small. But I love the heart still. The heart is really, really pretty. And I just love it because it's like a rib cage heart. And then it's like blue and purple and like all my favorite colors. And this is kind of a strange tattoo, so it represents like my style. I just need to get the words covered so that I can get them redone. But the heart I'm in love with because it just represents me and my style, my favorite colors. and it's beautiful and strange, just like me. Last but not least is this flower. It's a sunflower with a hand holding it out. And the meaning behind this one is really simple but important. So the sunflower is just because it's my favorite flower. I said that earlier. But I got the hand holding out the sunflower just to represent being giving. The hand is handing it out to somebody. I've always tried to be a really charitable, giving person. And I just never want to lose that about myself. So I got it tattooed to forever remind myself not to be selfish, always be giving of myself. That's my last tattoo to tell you guys about. So those are all the tattoos on my arms and my pinky finger. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please subscribe. Also, I'll be doing a part 2 to talk about all the tattoos on my legs and my foot. I probably won't be filming it anytime soon. It'll probably be a few weeks or months from now. But it will be coming, I promise. Sure, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and go through like little close-ups of each tattoo so that I can get really good shots of them.